Everything in life that glitters can fade, and the dreams we chase often slip through our hands. Goals, they say, give direction, but they can also trap us. They tie our happiness to outcomes we cannot fully control. A promotion, a number on a scale, recognition from others. These are fragile anchors. Shaolin masters have always known this. The mind that clings to outcomes suffers. The body may act, but the spirit grows restless. Today, you will uncover a different path, one that does not depend on luck or timing, one that does not wait for external approval. This is the power of systems. Systems are the quiet forces that shape every day, the repeated actions that sculpt mastery into your life. They focus on the process, on steady attention, on disciplined steps that over time create change deeper than any fleeting victory. In this video, you will learn why systems surpass goals, how consistent rituals form unshakable habits, and why the smallest daily choices carry more weight than the grandest ambitions. You will see the subtle ways Shaolin wisdom turns ordinary routines into transformative practice, and you will discover the hidden patterns that most people never notice. By the end, you will understand how to build a system that not only moves you forward but transforms the way you think, act, and live. You will grasp the secret of turning discipline into freedom, repetition into mastery, and patience into power. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire. If your life is ready for clarity, focus, and real transformation, subscribe now and join this path of steady, unshakable growth. The river does not hurry, yet it carves mountains over time. So too does mastery unfold, not in sudden bursts, but in quiet, repeated effort. Shaolin monks move through the day like this river, step by step, breath by breath, motion by motion. Each strike, each stance, each hour of meditation is not measured by what it achieves immediately, but by how it shapes the practitioner. The body learns patience, the mind learns focus, and the spirit grows unshakable. I have seen how the world obsesses over instant results, blind to the power of steady practice. People chase achievements as though the finish line holds all the meaning. Yet the monks teach a different truth. The act itself transforms. Every repetition builds more than skill. It builds clarity, endurance, and self-knowledge. A single hour of mindful practice may seem small, but its echo stretches far into tomorrow. When you perform a movement with full attention, your senses awaken, you feel the alignment of your body, the rhythm of your breath, the quiet control over thought. Mastery is not a destination, it is a living process that shapes you from the inside out. A punch is not only a punch, meditation is not only sitting. Each action, repeated with presence, becomes a vessel for transformation. And this is where the world often misses the lesson. Results can fade, accolades can vanish, but the discipline embedded in consistent practice endures. It creates a foundation no circumstance can shake. The mind becomes calm under pressure, the body becomes fluid under strain, and the heart becomes steady in the face of uncertainty. This is the silent power that flows from action itself, from presence itself. The journey is not about reaching the peak, it is about becoming the peak in every step along the way. The bamboo grows silently, almost imperceptibly, yet its roots run deep and its strength endures storms. Life, like the bamboo, is built not from grand gestures but from small, deliberate actions repeated over time. Systems do not ask for brilliance in a single moment. They ask for steady, intentional steps, each chosen with awareness. Every small action, though it may seem insignificant, compounds into habits that shape character, energy, and the very way the mind moves through the world. In the quiet halls of Shaolin temples, monks rise before dawn to perform simple routines, sweeping the floor, stretching the body, aligning the breath. No one praises the sweep of a broom or the slow rotation of a joint, yet these acts carry a hidden power. Each motion trains patience, sharpens attention, and strengthens discipline. Over time, the repetition ingrains a rhythm into life itself, a rhythm that cannot be shaken by distraction or desire. The essence of mastery lies not in bursts of effort, but in consistency. A single day of extreme intensity may create momentary change, but without continuity, it dissolves like mist. Systems, in contrast, honor the slow accumulation of effort, the quiet shaping of habits that reinforce self-mastery without fanfare. Mindful consistency becomes a form of resilience, a readiness to meet challenges without panic, a body and mind attuned to flow rather than reaction. Ancient teachings remind us that the universe moves in cycles, and so must we. By focusing on small, deliberate acts, life itself becomes a meditation. Each choice, repeated with awareness, nourishes discipline and deepens inner mastery. Energy aligns with intention, and character grows from the invisible work performed away from eyes and applause. Over time, the ordinary becomes extraordinary, not through sudden brilliance, but through patient, mindful consistency. Discipline is often misunderstood. Many believe it to be harsh, a chain that binds the will, a punishment for desire. Yet in truth, discipline is the quiet gate to freedom. It is the structure that shapes life without constraining the spirit. Within the walls of Shaolin temples, monks move with a calm precision that comes not from fear, but from mastery of self. Their strength lies in choice, guided by the steady rhythm of body, mind, and breath. Every posture, every breath, every step is measured and intentional. This control is not rigidity, it is alignment. The body learns to respond with fluidity, the mind becomes clear and present, and the breath becomes the thread that ties action to awareness. Discipline is the invisible scaffolding that allows systems to operate without struggle. A system without discipline falters. It relies on motivation, which ebbs and flows like the tide. With discipline, motivation becomes irrelevant. The daily practices continue, steady and unfaltering, and the results are the natural consequence of this order. Ancient Shaolin wisdom teaches that true freedom emerges not when one does whatever one wishes, but when one is fully capable of acting in every moment with control and clarity. The monk who rises before dawn, who trains in silence, who moves through discomfort without complaint, this is the life shaped by discipline. Structure does not restrict the soul, it liberates it, allowing energy to flow unblocked, intention to manifest effortlessly. Discipline trains attention, fortifies will, and quiets the restless mind. It transforms effort into habit, action into mastery. What seems like limitation at first reveals itself as liberation over time. Systems built on this foundation do not demand constant struggle, they unfold naturally, carrying the practitioner toward growth, presence, and the kind of inner freedom that cannot be taken away. In this way, discipline is both the path and the guide, the invisible force that turns ordinary practice into extraordinary life. A single moment of attention can change the course of a day, even a life. Mindfulness is the quiet art of noticing, the subtle pull of habit, the fleeting thought that nudges action, the instinct that repeats itself unnoticed. Without it, patterns form like unseen rivers, carrying us toward outcomes we never intended. Self-sabotage is rarely sudden. It creeps in through repetition, through the small choices made without awareness. By observing, we catch these currents before they sweep us away. In Shaolin practice, even the simplest motions are treated as sacred. Sweeping the floor, lifting the arm, inhaling, exhaling, each becomes a ritual when performed with attention. Awareness turns routine into transformation. The mundane is no longer a task to endure. It becomes an opportunity to cultivate presence, to train the body and mind together, to sharpen focus and deepen understanding. Every small act performed mindfully strengthens the mind's ability to guide rather than react. Systems are most powerful when built upon this attentive ground. Without judgment, habits can be observed, patterns understood, and corrections made without resistance. There is no shame in noticing error, no rush to force perfection. Observation alone creates clarity, and clarity allows the system to function smoothly. The energy that once scattered into frustration now flows into deliberate action. Ancient wisdom teaches that mastery begins with awareness. The mind that notices, the body that feels, the breath that anchors, all create a field where change can arise naturally. Mindfulness is the lens through which the invisible becomes visible, where small, repeated choices become the foundation for lasting transformation. By observing each habit, each movement, each thought without attachment, systems cease to be rigid routines. They become living practices, a reflection of inner mastery and steady discipline, quietly guiding life toward balance and purpose. Every movement carries meaning when body, mind, and breath move as one. In Shaolin practice, the body is never separate from the mind, nor the breath from intention. Each gesture is deliberate, each step measured, each inhale and exhale guiding focus. The power of practice does not come from force alone, but from alignment, the harmony of internal and external energy flowing through every motion. Systems mirror this principle. A daily routine can exist on paper, yet without alignment, it becomes hollow. The mind may plan, but the body resists. The body may act, but the mind wanders. When thought, movement, and breath converge, each action carries weight, and every repetition builds strength, clarity, and mastery. Intentions gain substance, and effort becomes precise rather than scattered. In the quiet halls of the temple, monks move with a calm precision that seems effortless, yet behind every motion is awareness, attention, and a lifetime of small corrections. Intention without action is like a seed never planted. It holds potential but bears no fruit. Action without awareness is like water poured onto stone. Energy is spent, but nothing grows. Only when both meet, thought rooted in focus, motion grounded in presence, does transformation occur. Ancient teachings remind us that life itself is a series of patterns, like waves responding to the wind. When body and mind are aligned, each habit, each system, each practice flows naturally, becoming part of the rhythm rather than a forced task. This integration is where mastery is forged, quietly, steadily, without spectacle. Discipline becomes effortless because it is not imposed, it is lived. Breath anchors the mind, movement trains the body, and awareness guides both. The simplest act, performed in this unity, becomes a vessel for growth, a channel for energy, and a step toward true inner freedom. The bamboo bends with the wind, yet it does not break. Its strength lies not in rigidity, but in adaptability. Systems, like the bamboo, must move with the rhythms of life. They are not chains that bind, but frameworks that guide. Change is inevitable, circumstances shift, seasons turn, and the mind faces storms. To cling to one fixed plan is to invite struggle. Flexibility allows the system to breathe, to adjust, and to continue growing even when life's currents shift unexpectedly. Shaolin philosophy teaches this quietly, without fanfare. Monks move through each day with structure, yet they meet each moment with awareness and acceptance. The body bends in training, the mind flows with meditation, and the breath carries intention even when plans change. Discipline does not disappear when the unexpected arrives. It transforms. It becomes the calm in the storm, the steady hand that adjusts without panic, the rooted presence that continues moving forward despite uncertainty. Growth is born in the balance between structure and adaptability. The system provides order, repetition, and guidance. Flexibility allows the practitioner to respond with wisdom, to learn from obstacles, and to refine the process rather than abandon it. When structure becomes too rigid, it stifles. When change is met with resistance, energy is wasted. But when alignment meets adaptability, every challenge becomes a lesson, every deviation an opportunity to deepen mastery. Ancient masters understood that life does not follow a linear path. Strength is not the ability to resist change, but the ability to remain centered while moving with it. Systems are not prisons, they are vessels for growth. They guide the body, mind, and spirit, but they are alive, shifting as circumstances shift. Discipline, presence, and awareness remain, even as methods adjust. In this flow, the practitioner learns the quiet art of resilience, turning each twist and turn into a step forward on the path of inner mastery. The river flows without asking for praise, and the sun rises without waiting for recognition. There is a quiet power in doing the work for its own sake. Systems cultivate this kind of satisfaction. When attention rests fully on the process, every action becomes meaningful. Each repetition, each small effort carries its own reward. The mind begins to find peace, not in what comes at the end, but in the rhythm of practice itself. Dependence on external outcomes is the trap that many fall into. A promotion, a reward, approval from others, these can never guarantee contentment. They shift like sand beneath the feet, leaving the mind restless and anxious. The more a person ties happiness to results beyond their control, the more fragile their focus becomes. Systems, by contrast, draw satisfaction inward. Discipline and routine, performed with awareness, create a stable ground that external circumstances cannot shake. Monks have long understood this principle. Hours of meditation, walking, or martial practice may seem repetitive or invisible to outsiders, yet these actions carry a subtle joy that comes from mastery itself. Each motion becomes an anchor, each breath a quiet teacher. Over time, the work transforms the practitioner, and contentment becomes a steady companion, not a fleeting guest. Inner satisfaction fuels perseverance. When the reward lies in the doing, obstacles no longer feel insurmountable. Effort becomes a natural extension of presence, and patience grows alongside discipline. Systems provide a sanctuary where growth is measured not by applause or achievement, but by the quiet strengthening of mind, body, and spirit. In this way, life unfolds with steady progress, each step meaningful, each day a chance to cultivate resilience, focus, and the kind of calm confidence that comes from knowing true fulfillment is born from within. Silence often speaks louder than words. Systems, when followed faithfully, have a way of revealing what the mind usually hides. Resistance, doubt, fear, they appear not in grand moments but in the quiet lapses, the skipped routines, the thoughts that distract from simple practice. These hidden currents are subtle, yet they shape every action. The system becomes a mirror, showing not only skill but the weaknesses that live beneath the surface. Shaolin practice teaches that discomfort is a doorway, not a punishment. Monks face cold mornings, aching muscles, long hours of meditation, not to prove strength, but to meet the mind's resistance directly. The body strains, the mind whispers excuses, yet each challenge is met with calm, steady awareness. To observe discomfort without fleeing, to feel fear without reacting, is to learn the first lessons of true mastery. Persistence is the bridge between awareness and transformation. Growth does not come when the mind is comfortable or the path smooth. It comes when action continues despite doubt, when repetition persists despite boredom, when focus remains even as anxiety rises. Systems cultivate this resilience. They do not remove the obstacles, but they teach the practitioner to move through them, to witness resistance without surrendering to it. Over time, the invisible becomes visible. Fears lose their power when consistently observed and met with presence. Excuses fall away and discipline takes root. What once required effort becomes habit, and what once caused anxiety becomes an opportunity for deepening awareness. Mastery in its quiet form is built not on avoidance but on steadfast engagement with the challenges the system reveals. In this way, inner opposition becomes a teacher, and the act of persistence transforms the practitioner from within, shaping mind, body, and spirit into something steady, unshakable, and free. The life of a monk is not divided into separate compartments. Mind, body, work, and relationships are not isolated. They flow into one another like a single river, each influencing the other. A well-designed system works the same way. When daily actions are guided by awareness and intention, their effect reaches far beyond the immediate task. The mind grows calm and focused, the body strong and resilient, decisions become clearer, and relationships respond to steadiness rather than chaos. Habits born from mindful systems eventually require little effort. The repetition embeds itself in the mind and body, shaping instinct and character. Waking early, practicing meditation, moving with intention, or performing work with focus all become natural extensions of being. There is no struggle, no force. The system quietly orchestrates growth, like sunlight shaping a garden over time. The practitioner moves through life with ease, not because circumstances have changed, but because the inner foundation has been strengthened. Over weeks, months, and years, the accumulation of small disciplined actions transforms the life of the practitioner. What began as a simple routine evolves into a way of being. Energy becomes directed, presence becomes constant, and decisions are guided by clarity rather than impulse. Work flows with precision, the body responds with vitality, and the mind rests in balance even amidst challenges. Ancient wisdom emphasizes that transformation is rarely sudden. The mountain is shaped by rain, the river carves the valley slowly, and the practitioner is forged by consistent, attentive practice. Systems cultivate this patient alchemy, turning ordinary moments into opportunities for mastery. Life shifts not through grand gestures, but through small, deliberate acts repeated with awareness. Over time, the cumulative effect is profound. A life aligned, a mind steady, a spirit disciplined, and a presence that quietly radiates strength, clarity, and resilience in every area. In the quiet rhythm of daily practice, transformation quietly takes root. Systems are not about chasing the next achievement or waiting for recognition. They are about showing up moment by moment with awareness and intention. Shaolin wisdom teaches that true mastery emerges when body, mind, and spirit move in alignment, when presence guides action, and when discipline becomes natural rather than forced. By embracing systems, life shifts. Small, deliberate acts compound into habits that shape character, energy, and clarity. Challenges become opportunities to refine focus. Moments that once felt ordinary become the very source of growth. This is the path to lasting change, the kind that goals alone cannot create. Take these lessons into your daily life. Notice the small actions, tend to them with care, and allow your systems to guide you. Let discipline, mindfulness, and awareness shape your days. Over time, the life you cultivate will reflect steady mastery, inner strength, and calm presence. If this path resonates with you, join our community of mindful growth. Subscribe to Shaolin Soulfire and continue walking the journey of steady transformation, one intentional step at a time.